Good day to play around with your pets. This is Tortis. And this is Rhonda.
Good day. So today we're going to be reviewing all the terms we learned in the last lesson. So let me go over them real quick, like what we have already practiced on. And the first one was the mean, and of course that's the one where you add up all the numbers and then you divide by the set of numbers. And then the next one was the median, and the median was when you lined them all up and you looked at the one that was right smack in the middle. And yes, you could always use the formula 1/2 of n plus 1 for the median. And then we took a look at the mode, and that was the one that repeated itself most frequently. Then after that, we looked at the range, when you get the highest, the maximum value, and you get the lowest, the minimum value, and you subtract them. And that gave you the range of numbers from smallest to largest. Then we took a look at quartiles. You saw that in the second video that was uploaded. And when we take a look at quartiles, we want to specifically take a look at the lower quartile, which is the medium of the lower half of the data, called Q1. The easy way to get that is with the formula 1/4 of n plus 1. The upper quartile is 3/4 of n plus 1. That's the median of the second set of data. And of course, if you take the range of those two by subtracting them, you will end up with what is called the interquartile range. So in this little diagram here, you'll see that Q2 is the median, Q1 is the median of the first half of the data, and Q3 is the median of the second half of the data. The last two terms that are on this particular page are going to be variance and standard deviation, but we'll take care of those next week on the next lesson that we're going to be covering. This lesson today, we want to focus on this material here, and that is when we compare data, what happens when you add a constant to the data, and what happens when you multiply by a constant to the data. There is a difference, and what you got to remember is that when you multiply by a constant to a set of data, for example, if I give you 5 data pieces and I ask you to multiply them all by 10 and then go find the new mean, medium, and mode. Here's what's interesting about multiplying. And that is that in all cases, the mean, the median, the mode, the range, the standard deviation will all be changing by whatever the constant was. In multiplication, all of them, all 5 of them, will change by the constant. I'm going to show you this with examples where you can do it the good old-fashioned way, doing the math, or you can just say, oh, it's multiplication, changed by the constant, and therefore it'll increase by 10 if you multiply by 10, of course. In the case of the addition, it's going to be adding by the constant. Only the 3 migos will change by the constant. In other words, the 3M terms, the mean, the medium, and the mode are the only 3 that will change by the constant. In this particular case, in the case of addition, the range and the standard deviation will not change. They will, in fact, stay the same. Okay? Well, all right. Let's begin by taking a look today at data transformations, letter A. Once again, I'm going to get to do most of these for you and then expect you to go ahead and finish the rest of letter A that I don't do and then move on to letter B for this week. You'll also be expected to do the next 2 assignments on the extra credit packet. Now, when we say the next 2 assignments on the extra credit packet, that means front and back, okay? So it really is 4 pages, but it's really 2 pages front and back. Okay, that I wanted to clarify that. So take a look at the question number 1 here in your packet. Hopefully by now you have downloaded them. I know the letters are kind of small to read, but I'll read it to you and then I'll do it on a separate card here, okay? It says that if I was to give you the values 9, 2, 3, 15, 5, and 2, they first want you to calculate the mean of these guys, and then they want you to add 10 to each one of these, and then answer one of these answers, A, B, C, D, or E, based upon what you notice about the values. So let me go this route. Here are the numbers that I want you to work with. Now, as usual, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to highlight whatever the keyword is. And the keyword is mean. And now I need to know whether they're going to be adding or multiplying. Why is that, you ask? Because if you add, only the three amigos will change, but if you multiply, all of them will change by the constant. So what I have done here is I have written the keyword mean. There it is. I got to keep remembering which one of these it is. So I'm going to go ahead and begin by finding the mean. And so I'm going to get my handy dandy calculator. And when I find the mean, I'm going to notice that the sum of all of this is 36. I'm going to count and notice that there are 6 numbers, and therefore the mean is 6. Then they said that they wanted you to add 10. Okay, so now I'm going to calculate the new mean adding 10. That means that my new numbers will now be 19, 12, 13, 25, 15, and 12. In other words, get your original set of data and add 10. You are plus 10 on all of them. Okay, that was easy enough. Now I want to calculate the new mean. I'm going to calculate the new mean. But before I do that, let me predict. Well, if I go back to my notes, it says that whenever I add the mean, it'll change by the constant. Wait, my constant was adding 10 to all of these. That means that my original mean was 6. My new mean is going to be 16. Let's go figure it out. Now, these initial ones you're going to do the long way because it says for you to calculate them. But eventually, we're just going to be noticing what the keyword is. In this case, keywords, because you're looking at one of the 5 main terms and then whether you are adding or multiplying. Excuse me. In this case, you are adding. Okay, so now let me add all of these. And when I add all of these, you're going to end up with 96. Once again, there are 6 terms. And looky here, my prediction was correct. What happened between my first mean to my second mean is I added by the constant, 10. So, add by the constant. So from here on out, if I don't want to do all the math, I just say add 10 to the mean and then say add by the constant. If you just say this, I will understand why you did it. Okay, that's number 1. Let's go take a look at number 2. If I read number 2, it says the mean of 5 numbers is 10. All the numbers are doubled. Okay, so keyword is once again is mean, and the second keyword is doubled. In case you did not know, to double something means to multiply by 2. Oh, wait, multiplication, that means this guy here. That means it's going to change by the constant. In other words, you don't have to do the math, but you want me to show you, right? Okay, fine. I am going to pick any 5 numbers whose mean is 10. So I just wanted to show you, you don't have to do this. I picked 5 numbers. My keyword was mean. And if I find the mean of those 2 numbers, I already know it's 10. 50 divided by 5 terms is 10. And then they say to double it. Okay, so I'm going to go double my, and then you're going to see what's going to happen to the mean. So if I double my data points, that becomes 20, 24, 24, 24, and 8. Here they are. So now when I calculate my new mean, that's 100 divided by 5 is 20. Now here it goes. If you want to avoid all this work, all you got to do is notice that it was multiplication and that you doubled. So if my first mean was 10, you're going to say that your second mean is 10. And you are going to basically say, what's the phrase? You're going to say, change by the constant. And you don't have to do the math, okay? Number 3. It says now, let me go read here. Consider the following numbers, 9, 2, 3, 15, 5, and 2. First, find the median. Keyword, median. Second word, add 10, or phrase, right? Okay, so here are the 6 numbers that they gave us. 9, 2, 3, 15, 5, and 2. The key word is median. So therefore, I'm going to find the one that's right smack in the middle to find the median. But do I really have to do the math? Well, perhaps not. But I'll do it anyway. Because if I put them all in order, median means you go from smallest to largest, cancel the high, cancel the low, cancel the high, cancel the low. And to find my median, I have these two numbers. So you're just going to find the mean of these two numbers here. 3 plus 5 is 8, and 8 divided by two terms is 4. So my median is 4. So now, if you want to go the long way, you simply add 10 to all these numbers, and then you find your new median. But I'm not going to do that because I've already learned my lesson. Keyword, add 10. So addition, median, changed by the constant. Oh, my constant was 10. So if my median is 4, my new median is going to be 4 plus the 10. In other words, it's going to be 14. But if you want to tell me how you did it without showing me the math, what must you write? Yep, you said it. All you got to do is write change by the constant. Usually this constant is going to be the variable k. Once again, you don't have to do the math except for the initial, finding the median, and then add 10 and you'll get 14. Number 4, it says consider the following numbers: 9, 2, 3, 15, 5, and 2. And in this case, let's go see what the keyword is. Oh, it's mode. And once again, they want me to add 10. Okay, here are the numbers nice and big for you. And the keyword is mode. Okay, I remember that mode was the one that repeated the most frequently. And of course, the mode here for number 4 is, let's see, what could it be? It's 9, 2, 3, 5. It looks like it's 2, huh? Yep, doodles, it is 2. So if my mode is 2 because it repeats itself most frequently, that means that it is 2. However, it says to add 10. So I'm going to add 10. And what will be my new mode? Yes, it's going to be 12. And what will you write? Change by the constant, if I asked you why, okay? So you're going to take a look at the answers and see which one it is. And of course, it's going to be the one that says B, 10 more than, right? Okie dokie. There you are. You don't have to do the math, although you could. It'll be 19, 12, 13, 15, 25, and 15, and 12. There's two 12s. So you could do the math if you wish, or you can just simply change by the constant, add 10, you get 12, and write the phrase change by the constant. And that's the way you show your work. Number 5, I'll let you do on your own because it says for which group of data does the mean equal to the mode. That just means you got to find the mean, the median, and the mode, and then look at the data for all 5 of these and see which one of them have equal means and modes and so forth and so on, right? Alrighty, we move on to number 6, and that'll take care of the front. As I said earlier, this is not that difficult. So number 6, for the group of data 23, 23, 25, 28, and 38, which one of these is true? A, the median is greater than the mean. B, the mode and the mean are equal. The mode is greater than the mean, letter C. Letter D, the mean is greater than the median. And finally, E, the median is equal to the mode. What is that telling me? That you need to find the mean, median, and mode. And then look at the answers, right? Okay, so here are my numbers. I'm going to begin by taking a look at all of these numbers, number 6, and I'm going to be adding them so I can find my mean. So here goes mean is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 5 terms. And if I add all of these numbers, it is 137, which gives me 27.5. So 27.5 is my mean. Next, I'm going to go find my median. Luckily for me, they're already in order. So high, low, and there is my median. It is 25. And finally, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to find the mode. And let's see, which one repeats itself most frequently? Well, there are two 23s, and so 23. Now that you have all three of them, go take a look at the answers and see which one of those will be correct. And of course, you're going to see letter D, that the mean is greater than the median. 27.5 is greater than 25. Easy stuff, right? Okay, let's move on to the second side of this. And yes, there are only 11 questions, which means that this homework assignment is going to be relatively short. This is why you're going to go ahead and finish letter A. I haven't done one yet. You can do that one. You're going to go on to letter B, and then you're going to do 2 pages from the extra credit packet, which will review all the material yet again. Okie dokie. Let's go on to number 7. It says, the scores of a test are 50, 65, 65, 70, and 75. Which of these statements is correct? The mean and the median and the mode. The mean, the median, and the mode. The mean, the median. Oh my goodness, that's easy. All they want me to do is take a look and look at these numbers yet again and find the mean, the median, and the mode, and then find out which one of those answers is the correct answer. Okay, let me begin with the mean yet again. That's my symbol for the mean. I'm going to add all of those. I'm going to end up with 325. 1, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 numbers, and this will give me 65. So my mean is 65. Next, I'm going to go find my median. Once again, they're all lined up. High, low, median is 65. And then I'm going to go find my mode and see which one repeats itself most frequently. And yep, there are 2 65s. And what did I just notice? That all 3 values are all 65, 65, 65. So you're going to go back into number 7 and find me letter A that says the mean, the median, and the mode are all have the same value. Okay? Number 8, it reads that Rebecca gathered data on a number of runs scored against a team. And in the last 7 games, this is what the runs were. 8, 10, 6, 10, 12, 12, and 11. If on the next game, the 8th game, the team scored 0 runs, what will happen to the mean? Okay, well, the keyword is the mean. Here are my data points. 8, 10, 6, 10, 12, 12, and 11. That's a lot of runs, but then again, it's softball, right? Okay, so therefore, I'm going to remember that the keyword was mean. And when you find the mean, all you gotta do is add all the numbers and then divide by however many there were. Now, if I add all of those, the mean is going to be 69 runs divided by 7 games, and the mean would be 9.9. That's the average amount of runs that they would score against them, right? Now, if on the next game, 0 runs, finally they had a shutout there, okay? Let's see what would happen to the new mean. Well, here goes my new mean. Now, before I go ahead and do this, let's predict. Do you think this number is going to get higher or lower, or will it remain the same, given that this is 0? Well, think about it for a quick second, right? If this is 0 and I'm adding, this number is going to stay constant because it's 0, but this you're going to be dividing by 1 more game, 8. Think about it. Okay, that was your split second. Let's continue. So I'm going to add all of those numbers, and as I just stated, it's still 69, but this time I'm going to divide by 8. And yes, you're so smart. As you predicted, the new mean is 8.6. Obviously, when you have a shutout, your average is going to go down. So therefore, you're going to go find that it decreases. That's number 8. Number 9, it says that Odai gathered data of heights in centimeters of her classmates. And here's a list of classmates' heights. Here's the question, however. A new student walks in and he's 140 centimeters tall. Keyword is, what will happen to the mode? Mode is my keyword. So, here we are. That's my data set of numbers there. And so, here's all their heights in centimeters. Right now, the mode is 160 because there are 3 students that have a height of 160 centimeters. A new student walks in, a little bit shorter than everybody else there, you see. A shorter student walks in, and his height or her height is 140 centimeters. Now, what do you think is going to happen to the mode? All I'm going to do is add 140 to my data set there, and now I'm going to look for the new mode. What happens to the mode? The new mode is, of course, unchanged. It will also be 160, and that's number 9. Okay? Number 10 then gives us a variable there. Given the set of numbers, blah, 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 you have 7 of them there, 1, 2, 3, 6. If the median is 52, then what is the value of x? Okay, so here is your set of numbers. I wrote them a little bit bigger, and I reminded myself that the keyword is median. Because it's median, I'm going to add all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and divide by 6. If I do that, I will end up with x plus 54, and I'm going to go find my median. Oh my goodness, that is median. I was looking for the mean, huh? No, 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 you don't add them. It says median. See, so if you make a mistake, just cross it out and go look at your keyword. Come on, Mr. G, it's median. Thank you for clarifying that for me. I'm glad one of you picked it up real quick like. So median, the high, the low, the high, the low. Oh my goodness, there are 2 words here, 2 numbers here. So therefore, that's what I was thinking, that I'm going to need to add those 2 numbers and divide by 2 so I can come up with my median. And when I divide by 2, they told me that the median was 52. So let me set it equal to 52 on the other side. Because the median, which is these 2 guys, the halfway mark between those 2 guys, is 52. To make it easier on you, let me put a little 1 down here so I can cross multiply, right? I love to say that. This is going to give me x plus 54 is equal to 104. So when you take away 54 from both sides, you're going to end up with x is equal to 50. And there you are. One last one here. Number 11. Number 11. So there is a chart on number 11. This table here is for 19 children in the neighborhood. Now first let me explain how to read it. This table basically says that there is 1 child whose age 10, 2 children whose age is 9, 2 children whose age is 8, 3 children who's 7, and so forth and so on. There are 0 kids that are 5 years old, and there's only 1 child that is 1 year of age. That's how you read the table. If each child increases by 2, which measure will remain the same? Now, remember, you are adding by 2. So you don't really have to do any math here. Yes, you could if you wanted to say 1 child was 10, and then 2 children are 9, and then 2 children are 8, and then do all your math, and then increase them all by 2, find all 5 data pieces, and then see which one is unchanged. But you don't have to do that. Why? Because you're going to add by 2. Okay, so you're going to come to your notes and going to go to adding. So when it's adding, it said which one remains the same. Well, the 2 that remain the same are the range and the standard deviation. We haven't covered standard deviation until next week. Therefore, the only logical answer is the range. So if I go over here, letter C is the range. Okay, so your homework is to finish letter B. In your extra credit packet, you should have already done page 1, front and back. You should have already done page 2, front and back. Now you're going to do pages 3 and 4. And if you'd like to move on to 5, go right ahead because it's all the same thing. However, there are several questions. This is why you may want to skip number 3 because it's going to ask you a whole bunch of these. I think we just misstapled these. It should have really been pages 4 and 5, and then next week we do this. So therefore, I would prefer you did 4 and 5. and then you do this one. But if you want to follow what we wrote on the internet, go right ahead and do 3, 4, and 5. But every time it says standard deviation, don't do it just yet. Wait till next week, okay? One last item I want to refer you to, because some of you may not have seen the second video that was uploaded last week, and that is what the interquartile range in Q1 and Q3 are. And it all has to do with medians. So if you remember median, I'm going to go cancel out the high, cancel out the low, high and low, because that's what you do with medians. And I'm going to find out what the median is. So if I do that, cancel the high, the low, the high, the low, the high, the low, the high, the low, the high, the low. And here is your median. It is called Q2. It is your median, right smack in the middle. So Q2 is 6. Okay? Now, to find Q1 and find what the median is of the lower piece of data, you just go and find out which one is right smack in the middle. And if you look at these pieces here, you'll find that your middle piece here is 3 because you got 2 on the right and 2 on the left. That is known as quartile 1. That is 3. If you find the median of the upper half of the data, you will see that it is 9. This is known as Q3, 9. And to find the interquartile range, all you do is you subtract the third quartile from the first quartile, which is 9 minus 3, and you will end up with 6. Now, if you take a look at the notes, you'll also see a set of formulae, because there are 3 of them. It says that to find Q1, you simply plug in the number of terms, add 1, and then divide by 4. Now, that's not going to be the answer. That's going to be the term. That's why the TH is here. So let me count. Well, that's easy to count because I gave you 11 numbers, right? So if I was to plug in 11 into here, you get 11 plus 1 is 12, divided by 4 is 3. What that means is that the third number is Q1. What is the third number? 3. That's why Q1 was 3. Okay. To find the third quartile, it's 3/4 of n plus 1. Again, it's the term. Okay, first, second, third, fourth. Okay, so now I'm once again going to plug in 11. 11 plus 1 is 12. 12 times 3 is 36. Divided by 4 is 9th. This is the 9th term. And so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What's my 9th term? It's 9 in this case, right? So that is why Q3 was 9. And the interquartile range is 9 take away 3, because this was the third, is again 6. So you have 2 ways of doing this. You have the formula, and then you have the way we did it with the data. But be careful, because sometimes you end up with 2 numbers here, in which case, once again, you find the mean, right? Okay, this has been Mr. G, and we hope you're having a great week. I can tell you this because I've read all the comments from our teachers that they're loading up into Google Classroom, and the message is quite easy. Please don't give up. Please keep trying hard. We miss you. We miss going into the classroom. We miss your smile. We miss the interaction. We love you. So please work hard for us. Take a look at Aries. Look at your updated grades. Look forward to next Friday taking a quiz on this new material. And also that you're going to be turning in your new assignments. Your second log, homework log will be due on Friday. Please remember that both Oscar and I are for you there through Zoom, Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. So please take advantage of that and come back and see us. If you want all the Zoom information, simply go read the messages on Google Classroom. Have a wonderful day, and don't forget, it's Pet Day, so go out there and love your pet. See you later. G out!